Hey everybody, today is March 2nd, 2013, and I'm going to be doing a little comparison between Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. This isn't going to be a very in-depth comparison between two browsers. It's not really like a video review, it's just my opinions on the two browsers since I use them both. And to be honest with you, basically I tend to go back and forth between browsers. For quite some time last year, I was using Google Chrome. But later last year, I decided to switch back to Firefox. I was a long-time Firefox user. I used it from 2006 through probably late 2011, early 2012. So, 5 to 6 years of just using Firefox. And then I switched to Chrome. Now, let me go and explain why I made that original switch. The thing with Mozilla Firefox was, at the time, it was getting very buggy with YouTube videos. YouTube videos would lock up and do all sorts of things, and the browser would constantly crash very often, and I was just simply getting tired of it. And before then, Chrome was still developing. There was a few add-ons that I like to use that weren't compatible with Chrome, so I was still using Firefox at the time. And then once those add-ons become compatible with Chrome, I decided to go and make the switch to Chrome. Because Google Chrome is actually a very high-performing browser. It's very fast. And of course, many of my add-ons were working at the time, so I went and made the switch to Chrome, and I used Chrome for quite a while. Google Chrome's sync tool is very useful if you have a Google account. All you gotta do is just log in, and you can sync your Chrome data between all your different devices. I have, of course, this computer and my Dell Inspiron 1525 notebook that I use at school. So it's very useful to sync my browsers to have the same bookmarks and settings on both browsers. And this there for a while I was using Chrome, but then I noticed an issue with Chrome that I'll go ahead and address right now. Google Chrome tends to have a memory usage problem. I've actually got a video of Chrome version 20 using a whole bunch of memory on this system. This computer has 12 gigs of RAM. And I've actually got the page file set very low to where it uses a lot more of the system memory rather than going to page file. This actually helps improve performance because there's less page file usage being used on the hard drive and more of your memory being used. And that's actually what you want because your memory is a whole lot faster than page file on your hard drive. Anyways, Chrome can be a very memory hungry browser. Now let's go ahead and look at Task Manager. I actually got both these browsers and they've been going for a while. On the left is my BikeGeek MTDX YouTube channel, and I have 3 tabs open: a Facebook tab, the YouTube tab, and weather.com. And of course, I've got 3 tabs. Google Chrome is a multi-process browser. It'll use multiple processes. The more tabs you have open, the more add-ons you use, can determine how many Chrome processes get used. Now, of course, right now, Google Chrome is not using that much memory. And the reason why I use both browsers simultaneously is because I have 2 YouTube channels, BikeGeek MTDX and Q Computer Channel. And basically, this allows me to actually work on both channels at the same time by having 2 separate browsers for 2 different accounts. Now I'm going to pull up an image of Chrome using so much memory. Here's a Task Manager screenshot from when I was using Google Chrome. And if you notice, look at this memory drop. Now of course the graph goes from 0 to 12 gigs in terms of memory. Have a look at this. Now I can't exactly remember how many tabs I opened, but I had a lot of tabs open. Probably about 6 or 8 in one window, and probably another 4 to 6 in another window. And as you see, my processes was only 83 processes, so I didn't have much running besides that. Let's say if I have Google Earth and a bunch of other programs and stuff open, the processes would be about 102 or so. But in this case, it's only 83. Just have a look here. Was using about 10 to 11 gigs of RAM. And here's when I close the browser out. This humongous drop in memory usage. It's unreal. Now go ahead and, if you want to, go ahead and watch my Chrome how memory uses video. I'll go ahead and post a link in the YouTube description box so you can go check it out. But anyways, this gives you a general idea of how much memory Chrome can use. That was one reason why I switched back to Firefox, because Firefox does not use all that much memory. The thing about Mozilla Firefox is it still uses only one process. Well, actually two if you count the plugin container process, which is, well, actually I got two, so there's three processes. These processes are not using much memory at all, like between right around 9 to 10,000 K. Just give you an average number. That's what they round up to. But the actual Firefox process is using about, let's say, a gig of RAM or so. Now, of course, in Firefox I have 17 tabs open across two windows. So 17 tabs across two windows. I have many add-ons. The browser has been up for quite a while, so I can't really complain too much there. Now, I was using Firefox for a while, and in Firefox 17 I had issues with it starting to crash. I was actually taking a test in Blackboard. And of course, you college students out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Blackboard is an online suite where you access your online courses and sometimes your in-class courses if they have assignments posted there. But I was in a Blackboard test environment taking a quiz, and the browser crashed. Even as of right now, that test still says attempt in progress, and I still have not heard back from my instructor about that. So I'm not sure what's going to happen about that test. So Firefox definitely let me down there. So I switched back to Chrome again. But here's the reason why I switched back to Firefox along with the high memory usage. Chrome is getting really restrictive with add-ons. Now I'm going to show you an example here. See, Chrome has got very restrictive with add-ons, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. It used to be in Google Chrome, you could install add-ons for pretty much any website. That's still the way it is with Mozilla Firefox. But Chrome decided to make things more secure by coming up with their own web store and having publishers post their add-ons to the Chrome web store. I mean, it was a good idea to have this kind of setup, but at the same time, they have gotten extremely restrictive with that, because with the Chrome version, this is 25, but with one of those releases, Chrome has gotten so restrictive with add-ons that you can't even install user scripts without them being in the Chrome web store. Now, I'm not even sure if the Chrome web store even has any user scripts, and it's very annoying. When in Mozilla Firefox, there's no problem. You just install it in a grease monkey and you're done. But with Google Chrome, you have to go find yourself a little there's a website that tells you a workaround. You actually have to add a command onto the shortcut file to Chrome to make it allow add-ons and user scripts from all environments. Now, to me personally, that's very annoying. And I'm very disappointed with Google for doing that, because the Chrome browser performs very well, and it's actually what I deploy on my refurbished computers and any computers I repair. I deploy Chrome because it's so easy to install. But the fact that add-ons are so restrictive made me switch back to Firefox again. So basically, with the newer Firefox release, it's not as, let's say, unstable. I haven't had it crash on me yet. But I have found out in Firefox it can be, some websites don't get along with it. Let's say if you have Facebook open in a few tabs, and Facebook itself can be very unfriendly for your browser, because let's say you're on the home feed, or let's say you're on a timeline, you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, it keeps adding information to the page. And it just keeps adding on and on and on. Eventually the browser does not like it too well, and the browser will get unstable and sometimes crash. And Facebook and Weather.com in Google Chrome will use up a lot of memory. Facebook tab by itself, I recall, it actually used up to 2 gigs of RAM one time after leaving it open for an extended amount of time. Now, of course, remember, My system does not use much page file, so it uses up more memory. Now let's say you got a computer that has 4 gigs of RAM and you have a lot of page file. You're not going to see Chrome use a whole bunch of memory. Let's see, the Q computer Midtown likes Black Mac, which is my mom and dad's computer. They use Google Chrome, and they still use Chrome. I could go on their computer and look in their task manager, and Chrome is not using that much memory. Now keep in mind, the system only has 3 gigs of RAM, but it still eats it up, just in a smaller extent. So Chrome does tend to use a lot of RAM. I've actually looked this up, and I'm not the only person having this issue. Many people are having the problem. So I decided to make the switch back to Firefox, and so what I do is I take my Blackboard test in Chrome. So more or less, the bottom line is, both Google Chrome and Firefox are decent browsers. I can't really put down on either one of them. But the thing about Mozilla Firefox, as of now, today, I would recommend Firefox because it is much more friendly for those like me who like to install add-ons and extensions. Chrome, they want you to use their web store for everything. Now, I mean, when it comes to everything, I mean everything. Add-ons, extensions, and user scripts, unless you know the workaround. So anyways, hope this helps. Now for Internet Explorer, since I didn't mention that, this is really just a Chrome versus Firefox video. If you're using Internet Explorer, please switch to one of the two, because Internet Explorer is really, it's a load of garbage. Even with IE9, I still just don't care for it. So anyways, just switch to Chrome or Firefox. And you can, of course, import your information from Internet Explorer to either of the two browsers. So anyways, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.